Okay, so the bug house is complete. I think it's time for us to start another massive project. Welcome back, everyone, to Create Dinosaurs, episode 43, where we are going to be doing exactly what I teased last episode. We are going to be working on a train. Okay, well, kind of. We're sort of starting the whole train project, which is going to be a bit of a thing that lasts up until the end of the series, really. Because, I mean, it's a train that goes around the entire park, and, well, we haven't built the entire park yet. So it's less of a, like, we're going to do the entire project this episode, and more, we're going to start a project which is going to last for a really long time. But anyway, yes, so I would like to work on a train system going around the park, and the thing is, that of course means we are going to need some train tracks. And train tracks have a fairly easy recipe. I mean, it's not the nicest and stuff because it requires a bunch of iron. But at the end of the day, all it really needs is just some slabs and then 2 iron nuggets deployed on top. You could also use zinc, but I'm pretty sure zinc is going to be a harder thing to get than any of the others. Because yeah, zinc only comes from either like zinc-related blocks or tuff and azurine and everything, and these aren't renewable. So I think instead, we're going to need to go with iron, which still works and, like, it is renewable, although I will admit, it's still not the nicest thing. Because, of course, we do actually kind of have an iron farm downstairs working under the exact same principle we're going to need to use today. It's this thing where we're making a bunch of stone, and then it's going into a bunch of grinders, and it gets turned into gravel, and then we wash it into iron. But the issue is with that system is it works great, and I will admit that it is perfectly functional, but the thing is, it is slow. And when we're talking about making a train track, which is going to go around the entire park, I don't know if I want that speed, man. My gosh, it would take several stacks of train tracks to go around just one of these enclosures. Never mind, like, dot all around the park, like from here to here to here to here, wherever. Also, I really need to do something about this chicken problem. The thing is, though, as annoying as the method is to get iron nuggets, I think we may actually be forced to use it because we can only really do bulk washing with gravel. There's nothing that you can blast or crush or anything like that that's easier to get, and gravel can only be collected the exact same way that we're already doing. So, I mean, we're kind of stuck. Like, it's a system that sucks and is painfully slow, but there's no alternative. So, to counteract the fact that it's incredibly slow, I guess the only real solution is to just kind of make a lot of it. And that sounds like a challenge which I'm up for. So, let's take a look at what it would... Oh, whoa, where did you come from, mate? So, what would it take to make a gravel farm? Well, the thing is, we've actually done this several times before. Because, of course, it's just cobblestone getting ground up into gravel. So, we can do a very compact cobblestone generator like this. However, the place where it tends to slow down is in turning it into gravel and then washing that gravel into iron nuggets. However, later on, we managed to actually fix that issue by making this, the glass farm. And the glass farm is very similar, other than the fact that it uses a much more efficient thing, which is the crushing wheels. And the efficiency of those crushing wheels means that that farm has never backed up once. And I think the efficiency of those crushing wheels comes from the fact that they are able to crush up to 16 items at once without changing the time it takes. Which means, in theory, if we took 16 stone generators and then pushed them through a crushing wheel, that should take the exact same amount of time. And it should also be the same with stuff like washing as well, so it will take the exact same amount of time for one bit of gravel to get washed as it will for 16. So I wonder, if we just make a farm which stacks 16 of these cobblestone generators on top of each other, could we make a more efficient iron farm? I think we've got an idea here. The one question is, where are we gonna put this? I am wondering, what about this space over here? On the other side of the bug house, we've kind of got this hill where I can't put anything here, because, like, it's just too small to really make anything worth putting here. However, it is definitely the sort of size for a place where you could just dump a farm and then cover it up. I mean, like, yeah, looking at this, like, there is plenty of room for me to mess with here. So I think what I'm gonna do, so the tuff comes out to here, so I'll say that we would start digging here, and we're gonna clear out a nice little space for this. Okay, so I've just cleared out the area, and this is definitely enough space. I can definitely work with this. It might be a little tight over here, like trying to fit stuff in height-wise, because I don't want to go above where the terrain is, really. But, like, I should be able to fit this. And I think the best way to design this is kind of going to be going reverse. So, of course, we're going to need a chest with an output and everything. However, we also need a conveyor belt, which is going to have these three things on here. So we'll need a press, a deployer, and another deployer. Oh, I've got two deployers in here. That's convenient. Now, this does also mean I'm going to need a conveyor belt as well, and I'm just wondering, have I got any dried kelp? Wait, there was dried kelp in there. Yep, there we go. And this is going to get us 7 conveyor belts. That might be enough. And I'm actually going to take the rest of these and turn them into andesite funnels, which you'll get to see why in a second. Please don't do that. And yeah, we're also probably going to need some chutes for this. So if I say let's put an output barrel here, and then we'll go and put a hopper behind it with another barrel in there. And the reason why is basically because I can cover that up easily. And when working with conveyor belts and stuff, it's just easier to have them a little bit off the ground so that our stuff can go in there. So we can have a long conveyor belt coming along here, and it doesn't actually matter what the length of this is. So I mean, we could just go and bring it all the way over here. However, I definitely think that we should give ourselves some space. So let's put it here. And then we can have our mechanical press there, and the 2 deployers which are in my inventory can go next to it. Facing the correct direction would be nice. Not like that. So the deployers can go there. We'll put the filter on them so that they can only take the nuggets. And the mechanical press will go here. I just don't have one of those right now. What does it take in order to get one of those? Oh, that's really cheap. There we go. So that's all set up. And the thing that we keep forgetting in this recipe is the fact that it requires a slab of some sort. And this can be anything. I think we're going to go with stone because that's probably the easiest one to farm. And I think what we actually need for that is a mechanical saw, because I'm pretty sure this can actually still work as a stone cutter. But I think I'm actually going to handle that bit last, just because literally all it requires is a stone generator, a smelter, and then it just needs to get onto this conveyor belt somehow. Because my biggest concern is with the iron farm. I need 16 cobblestone generators to all go into one crusher, and then that crusher needs to wash the output, and the output needs to go into these. How am I going to fit this in? So if I center it around this point, because this has plenty of room. Actually, let's move it just this way by 1 bit. We can have a chute output there. That chute is coming from 2 crushing wheels, which are going to go here and here. We need a chute going into those crushing wheels. Then on top of that, we actually need some form of storage, because basically the crusher is only going to pull 16 items if there's 16 items in a stack in a chest, pretty much. Otherwise, it's just going to pull all of the items individually off the ground. At which point, it's only crushing 1, and that's just kind of not useful. And I can either do a chute going into this, or I can do a bunch of hoppers, and I'm trying to work out which one would be better. I think 4 hoppers. Actually, we're going to up it to 8. So if we do it in a cross pattern like that, then that should cover anywhere where the cobblestone can go. Then I think we're going to have 16 drills going up like this. And what I'm hoping is that we can kind of generate cobblestone going up like this, which of course will get broken by the drills. It will fall down into the hoppers and go into the barrel, and then the barrel is going to send it into the crusher. So I think that is actually going to work. I just need to get the lava, the water, and of course hook up all of the create mod stuff. And what we're going to get as an output here is of course going to be gravel. If we have a double chest like that, basically when items go into after this, they should evenly get split between the two deployers. And if they don't, then it's fine anyway, because once the first deployer fills up, the other one will just fill up after it, and our farm will continue working at maximum efficiency from there. But that does mean that we need to get iron up to it. Now, if I put a shaft there, basically to act as like our conveyor belt, so that would mean that items get transported up and go in there. But okay, so we might end up going a bit low into the ground here, because basically I need space to work with. But what we're going to have, we're going to have some iron bars here, then there's going to be a gap for some water, and then we're going to have an encased fan there. And below that, we're going to have a smart chute. That smart chute is only going to let iron nuggets through. But then if I put a mechanical belt coming all the way down there, dang it, it's slightly the wrong angle. I can make that work. Literally all that means is I'm just going to change it so it's one block lower. But there we go. So if we have a mechanical belt coming all the way down here, then basically we just need another one which is going to lead into that. And brilliant. So now basically it's cobblestone gets made up there, it gets broken, it gets crushed, it gets washed, and then the iron nuggets come up there and go into there. So that is all of that system planned out. Of course, just missing some of the essential components. The other thing which is going to be needed is a stone generator, which may actually just be able to produce here. Because let's see, is that the recipe? No. Is it with iron in there instead? Yep, there we go. If that is facing that way, no. Facing that way? No, still wrong. Facing this way, there we go. But we have that like that, a conveyor belt which faces into it, and then another conveyor belt which I'm going to make as long as I can, really. Because as items are coming down this, we're going to want them to get smelted. Now, this needs a very similar system to the washing, really. So it's iron bars there, lava here, and then a fan there. I am also going to need another drill for the cobblestone generator here. Wait a second. I just realized I designed half of this with the idea of waterlogging leaves. I don't know if that's a thing in this version. Please tell me that it... Oh, no. Is that just because it's like a Biomes You'll... No, it's not just because it's modded. That could be a problem. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. I should still be able to make this work quite easily. Because I'm pretty sure if I just put the water up here, it's not going to spread anywhere. So it should still act the way we want it to when this cobblestone is broken. Okay, so I'm pretty sure everything is set up now. But I'm pretty sure all I really need to do is all of the tedious stuff, setting up all of the cogs and the shafts and everything, just so that everything can function. And I mean, the only way to really find out is to set it up working. So yeah, just like, give me 20 minutes, I'm gonna work out a bunch of cogs. Alright, so I have once again created the Abomination of Cogs. I mean, look, you gotta respect my consistency at being able to make random abominations that you cannot understand once they're complete. This is like the 5th one of these in this world now. But I am proud to say that the farm is actually functioning. If we go and look in this barrel, we have train tracks. There's also some scrap stuff left over from before it was functional. But the good news is, we have train tracks. And I'm actually going to give our farm a little bit of a head start by dumping the rest of the iron that I've got into that chest. But trust me, it is fully functional and everything. The one thing is, we haven't got all of the lava in here yet. We're actually only running with about a quarter of what we would have normally. And the reason for that is simply because I don't have lava on me right now. The only lava I have is coming from this little dripstone thing here. Oh, it filled up again. Yeah, the only lava I have is coming from that little dripstone thing, which, as you can imagine, it's not that quick. But I'm not too bothered. Like, it is going fine for now. And what I would actually like to do next is just kind of tidy this up a little bit. So I know we're not putting a proper building here. We are just going to cover this up with terrain. However, I would still like it to look okay from the inside. So along with just in general going and lighting this up, we're also going to put some walls around this and then, of course, cover it up with dirt. But afterwards, what I would actually like to do is something which we have been waiting a fairly long time for, actually. We're gonna finally go around and name a bunch of the creatures. I'm not sure how many we're going to name because I don't actually know how many we've got left to name. But you guys have been leaving suggestions for absolutely ages for all of the creatures that we've got in this bug house, and I think the Spinosaurus as well. There might even be a couple still in the aviary that are unnamed. So, you know, we've got a lot of stuff ahead of us, but for now, let's tidy up that farm. And I think we're going to go with my good old classic of spruce wood. Yep, you would never know that anything was here. Okay, in all seriousness, I know this looks terrible right now. It is gonna get covered up more in future. One of my plans towards, like, the later times in the park and stuff is to go around and decorate a bunch of the landscapes. So all of this, it's gonna turn out much better than it looks right now, I promise. But there we go, the farm is done, and as you can see, I've given myself a nice little way in, and something I would like to see if I can do right now is that basically there's a little thing which I kind of forgot about, but there's a glitch in the create mod, and it's basically that if you have a bunch of large water wheels connected to a smaller water wheel, everything rotates with the speed of the small water wheel but with the power of a large one. And I'm just wondering if I do that with this, which is going to like double the speed of everything, is it going to be able to handle it? But, like, if I go and attach this there, overstress. Yeah, that was what I expected. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to see if I could. But there we go. So, in the time that has taken, we have managed to get 50 rails. Okay, this is actually working at a pretty good speed considering that it's missing half the lava still. But anyway, it's finally time. It is time for me to name all of these animals. I don't know if I actually have the levels for this. Hopefully I do. It is time for me to name all of the creatures in this bug house, and maybe some of the ones in the aviary if people ever left names for those. And also, actually, the Spinosaurus, I believe, needs a name still. But yeah, so this is going to require a little bit of work, because I've actually forgotten the crafting recipe, but it requires 2 leather? I thought it was 1. Oh, I'm going to go bankrupt. But that's fine. This should be manageable, because what I just need to go and do is shear a bunch of sheep to get some string. I also need some wheat very quickly. Oh, and of course, I've got the XP in here. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have enough levels for this. But okay, sorry, cows, but I am going to need some leather. But okay, so I should be able to make only 9 name tags. Okay, that's not the best, I'll be honest. But hey, it's a start. I can at least name a few of them. Hopefully, I can get some more leather in a second. But right, so the first animal to be named: Sir Pebbleback the Lonkodomas. We also have B the Arthroplur. Oh, whoa. Oh, I didn't know you did that. Whoa. Is that why you kept requesting it? I didn't know it did that. Oh, that's cool. Now, I know someone else actually requested the name Archie for an Arthroplur as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and make another one. So yeah, you can go in there. That's probably gonna take a little bit of time, though. We also have Fruit, Jimmy, and Bartholomew, if I can reach you. Bartholomew. There we go. Okay, so Archie failed to cultivate there, so now I've got another one of those guys. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Okay, back on track. I've got my name tags. We have an unnamed Dimorphodon, who I believe this is you, and you are going to be Robert. We have Archie the second Arthroplura now. And guys, we have one more name, which I'm gonna be honest, surprised me a little bit, because I thought we had like a lot more suggestions for names. But trust me, I scrolled through about the last 2 months of comments on my channel, and these are all the names that I found. So if I've missed one, I really apologize. If you just leave it in a comment on this video, I'm probably gonna go around and name them after I finish recording this, because I could have sworn that there were more, but I can't seem to find any of the other names. But anyway, so as I said, there is one last name suggestion, and that is for my favorite dinosaur over here, my wonderful little true love and joy. Why are you starving? Dude, I have given you a world of food over here. Why are you starving? My favorite little sweetest boy, your name is going to be Waffle. It's a truly fine name, I'm sure we can all agree. But with that, we are done for this episode, kind of, because there's one last thing that I would like to address with you guys. So, I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but there's been a little bit of lag on the world recently, and I can't think of where it's coming from, you know? It's obviously the number of pillagers who are around here. This is a very good example of what I mean by the world is lagging right now. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag on my world, and I don't want to point fingers at anyone or, like, you know, accuse anyone unnecessarily, but, I think the chickens are lagging my world. So I think I'm not going to show this on camera, but just know by next episode there might be a few less chickens in this enclosure. As a matter of fact, there might just be significantly less chickens in the entire world. But you guys don't need to see that. So for now, all I have left to say is thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and the dinosaur train is going to come soon, and like that's actually a promise. I'm working on it next episode, and trust me, it's going to be amazing. Somehow I will find a way of building this thing.